Welcome to the Gfinity Arena, where tonight we bring you the Elite Series Street Fighter Final. I can promise you hype, I can promise you excitement, but maybe this reaction from the semi-final sums up what tonight is all about. If this is what they do when they win the semi-final, you better make sure you stay with us for tonight's epic final. Hello and welcome to a night of great drama. If you were with us earlier on, you will have seen two semi-finals of the highest order. Quite frankly, I am exhausted, but at the same time, I am hungry for more. 7 weeks of competition culminate in tonight as the last two teams standing battle for the Elite Series trophy. This is your final lineup. Team Prophecy pulled off a stunning whitewash in their semi-final, and Team Envy are back again looking to go one better after falling in the finals last season. So, joining me tonight, looking after everything in terms of the commentating, my main boys, Mr. F-Word and Logan. Gentlemen, we were really treated to an incredible semi-final, weren't we?
Oh, you couldn't have asked for any more than that. What an incredible semi-final we had in the second. The first one was a bit disappointing as it was a complete wash, but it shows the power of Prophecy. But that second semi-final, that was everything you wanted in competitive gaming.
Definitely. Let's talk about Prophecy. Let's start there, because yes, it was a whitewash, but an unexpected one, would you not say?
Yeah, definitely unexpected. I think Infused were the favourites going in, but I feel like maybe they slept on Prophecy a little bit. Maybe, you know, that could be it, because Prophecy, when they beat Prophecy, it was to the wire. It was the last game, match point, both players. And I feel like maybe they thought like it was going to be a bit easier this time. Wasn't the case in the end. Yeah,
and Dark Moon Hado came out of nowhere, full of confidence, and kind of got that win for them.
If one thing's for certain, in my opinion, whatever you do for this grand final, you keep Dark Moon Hado in there. That guy has been ridiculous all season. Keep him there, they've got every chance of winning it.
I don't think there's any reason to change either of the teams based on their performances. I mean, how can you change a team that's won 4-0 for a start?
Even TKR? With a toss-up performance?
Oh no, I'm talking about Prophecy.
Prophecy, okay, I agree.
There's no way you can change that lineup. Right? That's your best. They're firing. They're in form.
It could be foolish to do that. But would you say out of those two teams, Envy got to the final last season, they lost, but you would therefore look at the kind of underdogs being Prophecy, right? After their season 1 form really wasn't there, it's clicked this season for them, but you'd still say they were the dark horses.
I think if you look at the lineups, the quality of players, Crimson is a great player. I think the quality of the lineups, there's a slight disparity in the favour. And of course, Envy finished top of the league, Prophecy second. So yeah, you have to say they're the favourites.
Oh, well, we've discussed everything with Prophecy. I know that my sidekick in everything Elite Series is Ariel. Should we talk Envy?
Shall we talk about Envy, guys? They're all talking about Prophecy. We need to talk about Envy because they've been here before. How are they going to do one better and actually win?
Well, like you said, they've been here before, so it's not untested waters for them. The only thing is whether they have relaxed their composure after that previous match, because Prophecy won 4-0, and they've had a lot of time to sit there and watch, whereas Envious have still a lot of adrenaline in them. I wonder if that might play into it.
Do you think some silly mistakes could be made with that adrenaline then?
Possibly, possibly.
Okay. We are still hoping that we get to see Leo do a backflip, though. Coming to you, Tyron. What's your thoughts on Envious, the lineup that we might see from them tonight? Because they can change it up now that we're in the final.
Yeah, to be honest, when it comes to Team Envious, I would just stick with the same guys because they held it together so well and played as a unit in that last game we saw, that last set. So I would just stay with the momentum and just keep it rocking with the same guys. It
literally came down to the last move, didn't it?
Yeah, like you saw him back away. He built the meter with the whiffed command grab just so he could get that EX Barcelona, and it paid off.
Who would you say out of the Envy lineup is the strongest player on that team?
Oh, it's hard to say. They're all good in their own way. I would say Crimson overall as like a full package of a player, but they're all really effective in their own way for sure. Yeah.
What about you, Sengen? Would you agree?
Yeah, I'd say Mr. Crimson, if not Nassim-Claw just underneath, but they are all at the top echelon of their game, so they're all strong in their own regard, but Crimson would probably have the captain banned.
Well, let's hope the windmill did them well, rather than like put them down. So I'm just going to go back to you, Tom. I'm just going to go back to you, Tom.
Thank you very much, Ariel. I've got to say, you are looking incredible. Definitely in a final outfit. Sengan, baby grow? What's going on there, bro? But listen, anyway, I am with the main man here, Problem X. Lovely to have you. You were part of the semi-final, watching everything. We really were treated there, weren't we?
Yeah, no, it was a fantastic set. Slightly disappointed because I wanted Excel to win, so my favourite team lost. But it was a great, it was a great set. Went to the last game, and a lot of stuff happened. Yeah, so it was good.
That doesn't sum up enough of what actually happened. Some stuff happened, but Problem is, you know about performing in the big occasion, on the stage in front of a live audience. What are we going through the guys' heads right now? Talk to me about their mindset.
I think Envy will have the upper hand because they've beaten last year's champions, or last season's champions, and the favourites. So they have higher morale right now. Prophecy will also be feeling confident because they beat Infused 4-0, so they haven't dropped a game today. But I think it's going to be you either do something crazy. One of these teams is going to do something crazy because it's in the final and they want to steal it, or it will be a very slow-paced, grinded out, down to the wire each match. So it's either going to be very fast or very slow, I think. I don't think it's going to be no middle ground.
Okay, well, obviously with the Elite Series, it's fair to say that all of them are big players up there, but this is where you really need your best player to stand up and get those rounds.
Yes, I think Prophecy will be looking for Akainu to carry on maintaining his form, and Envy will be looking for Mr. Crimson, probably to... Because Crimson, I think, beats Akainu when they play, usually, so they'll be looking for that. It's going to be a battle of Akainu and Crimson, I think.
Okay, wow, you heard it here first. Problem X, you haven't been here for every single week, so let's have a little recap for Prophecy about their road to the final tonight.
And the finger to the mouth. That is a fantastic result for Prophecy.
He has to go up against the MVP himself.
5 seconds on the clock.
Hado wins his first match of the Elite Series. Prophecy have brought it all the way back from 3-0 down.
They keep winning week after week after week.
Two incredible teams in great form.
Okay, what's he doing? Oh!
Gunslinger manages to close it out.
I don't believe my eyes! Shivryuken pops up!
Oh, the pop-up!
These guys are on fire. Prophecy versus Infused.
Needs to activate V trigger.
Oh, man.
Oh, he gets it!
That's going to be it!
Wow, oh wow.
Oh, Prophecy have just shocked this building.
They did indeed. They shocked the building, but you know what? Based on the form they've had throughout Season 2, they deserve to be here. Sort of behind you now, you can see their squad that they can choose tonight. So, yes, they had Dark Moon Hado, they had Zera, and they had Akainu, but they got Shiv there in the background who could make it into that lineup. And just to explain to anybody new to the Elite Series format, you can change your lineup. So they could change it tonight. Would you do that, gentlemen?
As I just said at the start there, they've just won 4-0. You see it so much in Premier League football, tinkering, and you mess the team flow up and the synergy. I would, no disrespect to Shiv, but I'd keep it exactly as it is. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. Do you feel about that old mantra, if it's not broke, don't fix it?
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with the general term, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But it's not broke when Shiv's in the team. So, I've seen Shiv do some wonderful things this season. He also plays a character that is amazing in the 1-to-1 set, Laura. However, the reason he was taken out of the match, for me, in the last one, is because he doesn't have a good time against the Infused players. These guys, on the other hand, I think he does all right against. So I would put Shiv in there. I'd definitely keep Dark Moon Hado. Akainu's a great bass player, so I'd probably sacrifice Zera, me personally.
Okay. I mean, look, it's a good strategy and opinion there. But when they last met, it went to Envy 4-3. The main man who stood up for Prophecy was Dark Moon Hado, who got a win against Nassim-Claw and Leia. And we saw how good Nassim-Claw was against XL earlier on tonight in the semi-finals. But Dark Moon Hado, you've got to put him because he's fearless, isn't he?
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. I don't think they'll take out Dark Moon Hado. It's going to be a toss-up between the other players, though, if they want to get Shivs in.
I think Dark Moon Hado and Akainu are locks.
Yeah.
Akainu won 2 games in the last set. He's been very reliable. Not the best win percentage, but I think, you know, that's dependent on like the amount of games he's played. He's played, I think, pretty much every fixture for them.
And he's always the anchor. He always plays 3 games.
He's been really, really reliable. That's what you need in this grand final. You need someone that's going to get you that 1 or 2 wins in the bank, and from there, it just takes a spark of brilliance from the other players to come through and hopefully take it.
Well, it's their first final. Will their heads have gone? Will they be too excited, trigger happy? Ariel, you're going to give us the team lineup.
I see that everyone's excited, it's like bubbling atmosphere here, but all I can feel is nerves and tension. Now you can see on my right-hand side, Akainu, you are part of our lineup this evening for the final. How are you feeling?
I feel good. I'm confident, and I play a lot with Envy's team, so I know them, so I'm confident.
And you know how to beat them?
Yes, I know how to beat them.
Zera, come to you because we saw you playing earlier, so you're part of our lineup going into the final as well. What's the mid like between you guys as a team?
I'm confident, so and they are friends.
Yeah.
So it will be cool.
So you're quite relaxed about this. And now the one surprise we do have here is out with Dark Moon Hado and in with Shiv on the end, and you're going to be part of our final. We didn't see you in our semi-final. That was part of a tactic, so you must be feeling quite relaxed, Shiv.
It's hard to be relaxed in a final, for sure. But I'm happy we made it this far.
There was a couple of comments in the desk there saying if it's not broke, don't fix it. So, you know, they were saying maybe Dark Moon Hado should be here, but you've been with this team for a long while. Do you feel like you need to justify your position in the final?
No, it wasn't really a justification process. It's more of a matchups kind of thing. And we thought Laura in this kind of format in a final would be better.
Yeah. So it actually all comes down to the characters rather than the players?
Well, yeah, that's how we've done it all season.
Who would you like to be up against in the first matchup?
Crimson.
Crimson.
Because he beat me most of the time, so I want my run back.
You want your revenge?
Revenge, yes.
Well, thanks, Prophecy, guys. Good luck for the final this evening. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you so much, Ariel. Listen, I need to clear up one thing, that lineup. Also, I meant nothing about the hoodie. I like the hoodie, Sengan.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But I just said earlier, but it doesn't matter. Problem X, Sengan, Tyrant, let's discuss that because that is big, big news. They've dropped Dark Moon Hado and brought in Shiv. You got Zera and Akainu. We heard from Logan and F-Word. They were like, straight away, Akainu, Dark Moon Hado, they're locks. But they've not gone with that. Shock news. How do you see that?
It is Laura, so I understand the character behind it. Dark Moon Hado he's played excellent, and I wouldn't have taken him out, personally. I wouldn't have.
Okay.
Yeah.
You feel like it's going to backfire on them in some way, Sengan?
Possibly. I think the saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it, comes into mind here. I'm not sure if it's something that Shivryuken knows, like on a character matchup basis, he's more comfortable fighting these guys. However, I know Mr. Crimson's really good at fighting Laura, so I think it might bite them in the butt.
But what does he bring, Tyler?
He brings a very unpredictable element to the game with Laura. But at the same time, you can't help but forget that, like, you know, these other 2 players, Zera and Akainu, they're both French players. These French guys on the other team, they're going to know what's up with them. Yeah. So, you know, it's hard to say what's going to happen here.
Yeah, I mean, he is Team Prophecy, though,
yes.
Shiv, and he brings a lot of emotion, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to see the focus on that guy. He's a committed Prophecy player. He was there for Season 1. He performed for them then. He comes back in. He's going to lead them, but when you want to win, it's the final. You can't muck about.
Yeah.
I mean,
is he going to get the wins?
He can. Shiv can definitely get the wins. He's a more than capable Laura player, especially in the first-to-one setting. My only concern is he's coming in cold into the grand finals. He hasn't played any games today. Dark Moon Hado's played in the semi-final. He's played under that pressure already today. Shiv's literally coming in cold, and he's also got a match. I mean, he's got to do better than a flawless victory because they just came off a 4-0, so he's got that pressure as well. So I don't really like it. I don't like those chances.
Yeah, rather him than me. But I tell you what, it's good to know that the Envy team he is taking on have got to the final. If you weren't with us every single week, then here's their road to the final.
Here we go!
They picked up a really, really good player, Mr. Crimson.
Crimson showing how ready he is. What a great performance from him. Oh! And look at Leo.
Wow, it's all the right decision.
Nassim-Claw. Oh, wait, that's ready.
Oh my God. Oh. In terms of personality, in terms of gameplay, I'm really feeling Team Envyus right now.
Envyus versus XL.
Sets it up. Oh my goodness, a perfect with Dowsing.
Towards the corner.
Oh, and he knew! The preemptive cross media punch. Look at Envyus popping up. It's dead. It is 2-0 to Envyus. Oh my goodness! Envyus has done it! What the Envyus have eliminated the champions!
So there you have it, Team Envy. They got their revenge against XL, who beat them in the final last season, but they are one more win away from being crowned the Elite Series Street Fighter champions. You've got so many players, good players on that roster. What would you do with this team?
Personally, I think I know TKR done well. He did do well, but it was kind of like a crazy style and approach.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how effective that will be again, especially against this opposition. So you probably drop TKR, bring in Leo, who he's been 50-50 this season. But again, in this setting, a character like Laura is just frightening. But Logan did say they did have a pretty good run. Don't fix if it ain't broken. But
yeah,
I feel like they could do better if they had Leo on the squad.
Well, Leo certainly got the energy about him.
Right.
He might have outdone himself there with the breakdancing. If you didn't see that, you will see that later on.
The gifs are definitely online to go and find those.
But I've got to ask, Logan, Tyrant made the point, Zera and Akainu for Prophecy, both French. Surely you would match up a full French team, would you not? So that they can counteract the fact that they know the Akainu and Zera's game inside out.
Well, it's interesting that Prophecy have gone for that 50-50 element by adding a Laura to their side. Envy have that option as well, bringing in Leo, who's arguably performed, I'd say, better than Shivryuken in the series by not a long way, but by a small margin.
But you wouldn't want to mirror match the Laura, would you?
I mean, Leo don't mind those mirror matches,
Yeah,
for sure.
He's very good at them, actually.
Yeah. He definitely doesn't shy away from them.
But what would Comps, for example, right in the middle there, we know his win percentage isn't as high as the other boys, so what would he add to with Akuma?
Guile's a very solid character. He matches up reasonably favourably against the opposition squad as well, character-wise. I think you just have to look at the quality of the performances of the players, though, and you'd probably be looking at comps after Leo and TKR. We're going to assume that Nassim-Claw and Mr. Crimson are locks.
Yeah.
But we assume Darkwing Nadeau is a lock.
I know,
Yeah,
and
I'm going to say, don't change that, Envious, seriously. Crimson, Nassim-Claw got to stay.
So you definitely say Mr. Crimson is a lock. When they last played these guys, these two teams, Mr. Crimson won the decider against Shiv. Now, that'll probably give him the mental edge over Prophecy, won't it?
That's very interesting.
Yeah, I think he has the mental edge anyway. He's been in this setting. He's qualified for Capcom Cup. He's been on the massive stage before. He's a great guy to have on your team. If I'm playing on a 3v3 and I've got a guy like that, it's going to make me play better. We've said this before with other characters. So him being there is a no-brainer. Nassim-Claw, for me, has been their standout player this season, in my opinion. He has been their
You talk about closing out game. Nassim-Claw has been their closeout hitter.
That's it.
So many times. They've gone to 4-3s a number of times, including against XL this season, in the regular season as well. And Nassim-Claw's been the guy that stepped up and done the business.
You say he's a closing hitter, but who is pitching against him? That is the question. We know the lineup for Prophecy. We know the lineup.
Oh, tell me.
Ariel, please, don't be a heartbreaker. Ariel, what is the lineup for Envy?
Well, Logan said it earlier, if it ain't broke, don't try and fix it. And we have the same lineup that we saw take us through into the final with Envyus here. So absolutely amazing lineup. Smashed it. How are you feeling? Everyone's just really cool now.
Yes, I am.
I know, you're just like so relaxed.
Relâche-toi, I'm relâché.
Relâche-toi. I've just
Ouais.
been learning this. That's like keep you cool, keep relaxed, yeah?
Yeah.
You guys play with them quite a lot. Does that work in your favour?
I guess, yes.
Because you know how to beat them, but you also know what you're up against.
I hope to play against Akainu. I beat him.
Okay.
Every time.
Well, he said he was looking forward to being up against you, Mr. Crimson.
Akainu said that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna... I hope I can play the three guys, not a problem for me. I play them a lot of time and I beat them usually, so...
Who would you say is the biggest threat for you on that team?
Akainu. Yeah.
Who would you say is the weakest?
That's a right question because two of my friends are in. I think Shivryuken is the weakest.
Okay, I like that, very diplomatic. You've had some interesting dance moves tonight, haven't you, sir?
Yes.
Are we going to see some more of them today when you celebrate winning?
Yeah, you will see a very nice dance. The salty TKR dance.
And maybe promised a Leo backflip as well if you win, and you've got to do it this time because we've seen you here in the final before. This time you've got to win it, right?
Yeah, this time this is for us.
This is for you. Okay. For Envyus. They're doing it for Envyus. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you very much, Ariel. Will we ever get a straight answer from TKR? But actually, is the question really, do we ever want a straight answer from it? Very, very entertaining. Gentlemen, all seem to be targeting Shiv. What do you make of that lineup? No changes.
I would have taken TKR out and replaced him with Leo.
You even told him to his face, and that's how confident you are with that.
Yeah, I would have. I don't think Abigail or Chun-Li bring anything to the characters that the other team have. I think Laura can fight everyone, can beat everyone, put that in. That's what the other team done.
Yeah, but you look at that Envy lineup, they've got the energy, they've got that win. They beat their nemesis, if you want to say, for want of a better word, from last season, season 1, when they lost in the final. But with that energy, maybe, would you not say that they expected Dark Moon Hado to stay in, and therefore they've counteracted that by keeping TKR in?
Possibly, that could have been a possibility, but even then, or maybe, yeah, for Abigail, Cammy, that might be why they kept TKR there. But even then, they've still got comps as well. I think Akuma is very, very strong first to one, and he's no slouch. He's taken out people like Akainu before. I know it's not a favourable matchup for Akuma, but it's a hard decision, and I think either way, with whatever they've decided, it's not going to come back and bite them in the butt, because you could say that about any of the characters that they put.
And maybe, when you think about it, they've done it because the two best hype men are going to be in the crowd, Comps and...
Yeah, they've done well. The sixth and seventh man, or, sorry, fourth and fifth man.
Yeah, indeed. But Tyrant, you look at this team, surely they're the favourites, Envy?
Yeah, I mean, they've been here before. Such a solid performance there in the semi-finals, able to hold it together against XL, the previous champions. So, I mean, to do that is no easy feat. So, yeah, I mean, I'm confident that they've made the right choice in sticking with the same players.
Okay, well, gentlemen, this is going to be an absolutely...
Can't wait.
It's going to be a beaut. So listen, we now know the players, but how will their character selections affect this match tonight? Big question mark there. Logan Sama has been looking at the key characters that feature in tonight's grand final.
When Street Fighter 2 exploded on the world scene as an arcade phenomenon, it was the cast of crazy and colourful characters that caught all of our imagination. Of course, Ryu and Ken, the protagonists, went on to become legends. But those 8 world warriors are all iconic in video game history. Some of them are still with us now in Street Fighter 5, and some of them didn't make it on the journey. But across the 30 years of Street Fighter history, literally dozens of characters have been added to the roster. Guile is one of those original World Warriors who's been with us since 1991. That signature flat top, that all-American style part of the Street Fighter universe since Street Fighter 2. His Sonic Boom and Flash Kicker is only 2 special moves, but he doesn't need a lot more than that. His zoning style, pretty much one of the best in all of Street Fighter. If you want to control the space, if you want to control the horizontal and the vertical, and put down a real assault course for your opponent to try and get in on you, Guile's the guy for you. And in the right hands, it's almost impossible to touch him. Back in Street Fighter 5, Dalsim is here with a new look and a new style. His ability to put out damage is incredible in this game, but he still has a lot of the same downfalls in his lack of defense. His defensive flaws are not very apparent when you watch Mr. Crimson play though.
Undoubtedly the strongest Dalsim in Europe, right?
His decision making and his patience are his most impressive assets. And of course his ability to mix you up and get that damage where it counts has seen him an important, vital part of Team Envy. Vega's a character that joined the Street Fighter series in Street Fighter 2. He's identified a lot of the time as Claw, to signify that claw that's strapped to his left hand. That's an important, vital part of his gameplay, and it sees him utilize the strength of that extra range with that claw in the neutral, and it can see his poke game to be very, very frustrating. He outranges almost everybody else in the game. Nassim-Claw for Team Envy has been a very, very impressive Vega player this season in the Elite Series, picking up MVP a number of times and taking some pretty big scalps for his team. His style of Vega is very, very difficult to deal with, and he makes the most of this character's strengths. His explosive playstyle is almost impossible to react to and predict. He will definitely be a player to look out for, and this character, Vega, is a handful.
Thank you very much to Logan for giving us the character breakdown. I don't know about you, but I'm like fidgety, I'm restless, I'm nervous. I want this to get cracking, and I'm very, very nervous for these guys. But I've got the matchups in front of me. You're eager to know who is taking on who. Well, let's move to matchup 1. The players are back there right now. Caps ready. Banana's been eaten, that is important. No one wants cramps. Listen, let's look for the first player for Envy coming out to join me. Luckily, it's not a man who might slip on the banana skin. It's TKR! That would be an amazing final.
Yeah.
To trip there. But you're not going to fall in this matchup, are you?
For the matchups?
You're not going to fall. You're not going to...
I don't want to play against only Guile, because the matchup is not good for Abigail, but I will win every character, so it will be okay. Yeah.
You can't help but love this man. It's TKR. You are going to be taking on tonight from Prophecy, Zera! Zera, what do you think about this matchup?
I do crush face.
Okay, fair enough. That is the end of that. Zera, you've said everything you need to. That is fighting talk. You head that way. My main it's not even... Oh, thank you. No, it's the final. Like this. It's the final. TKR is going to be very entertaining. You do not want to miss matchup 1. Matchup 1's just 1. We move on to matchup 2. So for Envy, we have Monsieur Crimson! Breathe it in. Take a moment. This is the final, Mr. Crimson.
Yeah, the final, finally. Finally, finalement, on y est, finale. Let's go. Let's win this.
And that's all my questions done, answered in one answer from him. Listen, we move on to matchup, stay there. Matchup 2, you are going to be taking on for Prophecy.
Oh, okay, run back.
It's Shivryuken! Chip, my main man. Listen, much has been said about the final. I know that in your heart right now, you are pumped for this. You are ready for the final. He had the last say.
That's fine. I'll just let the game talk. He's probably right, but we'll see at the end, innit?
We will indeed. Best of luck. Shivryuken, you head that way for me. Monsieur Crimson, you head that way. That's matchup 2. Matchup 3, it's pretty easy. You know what this lineup is. It's the main man, Nassim-Claw versus Akainu. Join me on that side, Akainu. Is there good blood, bad blood? What's the rivalry like between you two?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, of
please?
course. How much do you want to beat him?
2-0.
Okay, fair enough. There you go.
Me?
Akainu, what do you think of Nassim-Claw?
Weak.
Okay, fair enough.
I think I will beat him 2-0.
Well, that is confident talk. That is fantastic. Yeah, he thinks. Now, well, this is what's going to happen, but we're not going to do it here. You're going to head that way, you're going to head that way, and the battle will commence. Matchup 3. Bonne chance to both of you, gentlemen. That's matchup 3. Let's look at matchup 4, 5, 6, and 7. It will go that way to number 7. But first of all, for matchup 4, Monsieur Crimson against Shivryuken. That is the same matchup as matchup 2. Then we move on to Nassim-Claw versus Akainu. Same matchup as matchup 3. And then game 6, TKR versus Zera. And then game 7, Monsieur Crimson versus Zera. So, if it goes that far, Zera has got it all to do for his Prophecy team. Right then, let me remind you, this is the final. We are going to take a quick break right now. When we come back, we will have all the action for you, so don't go anywhere. Right then, the stage is set for the grand final in Season 2 of the Elite Series here in the heart of West London. The players are getting ready on our Gfinity stage, but that gives us a chance for a proper chat about the current state of Street Fighter and its position on the esports landscape with Problem X and our very own Logan Osama. Now I'm going to drop down one step and join you boys. Let's talk about Street Fighter in general, because what does the Elite Series give to the Street Fighter community?
I think the main thing that we've seen from the Elite Series over the 2 seasons so far is the opportunities it's provided these players, you know, a stable base of sponsorship with teams and association. It's allowed them to engage more on a worldwide scale, travel more, engage more in the Capcom Pro Tour as well. It's been nothing but positive for these players, and you know, it just goes to show, you look at the EVO attendance, which is the biggest event in the year for fighting games. It's the most players we've ever had attending from Europe, and that is definitely thanks to the Elite Series.
Yeah, it could definitely be attributed to that. I mean, Problem X, you know, because you've played some of these players, they are talented guys, but I suppose at the start of Season 1 and Season 2, we thought Luffy would be a bigger player, but it hasn't worked that way. It's allowed a new crop of talent to come through, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think Luffy not getting the expected results, maybe partially due to the 1-to-1 format. However, yeah, it has allowed players, you know, people like Zera, who I haven't seen much of on the Capcom Pro Tour circuit, but he's come through here, and it allows people who may have maybe not travelled, and they have their buddies to travel with, so it gives them the extra boost, and then they can perform well, like what he has. So it helps people to come through. Jones Arcade, another one, helps players to come through.
Someone like Pax has definitely taken Method haven't performed that well at times, but his exposure here and week in, week out performance, that's helped him in those other tournaments, like you said.
Definitely, and I think, you know, a perfect example of that in terms of players that have grown with the Elite Series is a guy that we're going to see in a minute, Nassim-Claw, who is a player that I hadn't seen a great deal of on the Pro Tour across European, but he's there, he's part of the French community, he was attending events, but the extra exposure that he's got on the Elite Series every week, showcasing his skills, you know, his particular style of Vega that's so difficult to deal with. And you notice him more when he is at the events. He's starting to be put on the stream for his games more, so that he's getting that wider profile. And that's just one of many examples of that's happened to.
Have you noticed a swagger about him? I've definitely noticed a swagger. It wasn't there at the beginning. Season 1, he was like, yeah, tonight I'm very excited to be going. And now he's just like, yeah, whatever. Like, he's really grown as a which obviously gives you a lot of confidence as a Street Fighter player.
I think his teammates are rubbing off on him.
Yes.
TKR, Leo, I think their enthusiasm is rubbing off on the scene. And he's got the results to back it up. He's taken out some big giants.
That's the most important thing, right?
The most important. So, yeah, I think that's what's happening. Okay. And, yeah, it's a good thing.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Listen, let's just remind everybody and yourselves, just in case you've forgotten, this is the final. This is Prophecy taking on Envy.
What a great performance from him! Oh! Leo!
I don't believe my eyes!
Oh, the pop-up! Oh! Akainu bringing it back! Oh, wow! Oh!
So, there you have it. This is the grand final. Problem X, we were on the stairs. We've been made to move around a lot. That's what you'll notice about the Elite Series. They really do make you hit your steps on the counter. Gentlemen, let's take the prediction. But before that, just to reiterate on that lineup, Zera is going to be thrown in games 6 and 7. A bit of a difference from the semi-final. Akainu was their man. And actually, now it's Zera. They reckon he can beat Mr. Crimson because, you know, that game 7, you throw in your best man. That would be the take on that, wouldn't it?
I feel like Akuma is good in that situation because he's such a powerful character. I feel like they're banking it on Zera because he has clutched out for them a few times in the regular season. He's been their guy that's kind of been a bit of a cornerstone of the team, if you will. He's been able to clutch it back. And Akuma's a great character for that. You can't really argue with that decision, to be honest.
Yeah. Talk to me about clutches. Talk to me about predictions, Tyrant.
Predictions?
Come on.
God, you put me on the spot here. Oh, man, this is a tough one.
It's 50-50.
You say that, but, I don't know. I'm going to go with
It's a rollover, Elite Series. It's not the final. We'll see you back here for the return leg. No, come on, Tyrant.
Right. They've been here before. I'm going to say Envious.
Okay. All right. You're saying Envious. What do you say, Sengen, for this one?
I think Prophecy, just the way that the matchups are, I think Prophecy are going to take it.
Okay. Problem X, you've got it right. 100% prediction.
I think Envy.
Okay, he's ruined it. I'm kidding. Problem X, I'm going to take a little walk over to the two men over here, F-Word and Logan. Now, gentlemen, we're in the darkness right now. Soon there will be light in this area. See, as if by magic.
Look at that. There you go.
That is my main man, Carlos, up there. Listen, gentlemen, let's talk about this. Predictions. Come on, it's the final. Who's going to bottle it?
I don't mean to drag on and keep mentioning it, but I really think if you're getting rid of the player with the 80% win rate on your team, it's going to come back and bite you.
Wow.
And I do think Shivryuken is a good pick, but I think someone else should have come out for Darkman. I
think that if Shoyu Sengan has picked a team, it's definitely a good idea to go for the other one, so I'm going to go for Envy.
He's been right today, though, to be fair.
He has. Let me say one thing. Gentlemen, we had an epic first season finale, and I know you looking after the casting, it's going to be an epic one. So, gentlemen, take it away. Season 2 final. Let's go!
Let's get my magic wand out and do some casting. Right, so we are into the first fixture. It is the man with the Abigail, TKR.
Is it going to be Abigail?
Well, I see Abigail on the character select screen. It might be... We'll see, we'll see. I don't think Chun-Li versus Akuma is a great match, to be honest with you. Yeah, Crouch Fierce, as Zera has promised us.
Really interesting to see that Zera is
playing
the
3
anchor.
times.
The first time this season, I believe. I think it's been Akainu every time I've seen Prophecy play. Zera is the anchor. He's going to play 3 times.
Well, Problem X did make a good point before in the semi-finals that Guile's a character that you want there to just be solid, but you don't want him to probably play 3 times because there's quite a bit of a risk there involved as well.
Do you think the characters he's up against potentially is what's made them maybe reduce the appearance of Akainu? Maybe some of those characters on the Envyus team.
Because Guile is going to do well against both the TKR's characters. I think he does okay against Claw, but
that's a bit uphill. I actually think Nassim-Claw is going to run for him. I think that's...
Nassim-Claw has to play Akainu twice, and I have to agree with you. I like Nassim-Claw in the player matchup there. But we're going to get into our first game here. It is the grand finals of the Elite Series.
Wow.
Season 2.
Say that again. Say that again.
Grand final of the Elite Series. It's Team Envy against Prophecy, and we are kicking it off with TKR and Zera. And for all our French viewers at home.
Right, guys, grand final, make some noise. This is it. It all comes down to this.
Very proud because you have 5 French players representing in this grand final out of 6. But here we go.
Zera, man of the moment here. Prophecy on a 4-game win streak after their dismantling of Infused earlier. Can they keep that momentum? Abigail is the pick, Logan, like you said. Great start with that jump from TKR.
Zera starting off tentatively, but he gets his fireball jump right away. Oh, and again.
Nice
He's
reaction.
ready for the flip.
Wow, delay on that.
Oh, there we go. There's the Crouch Fierce.
Look at that stun racking up. Oh, baits out of the reversal. No punish. Jumps in. Oh, he's going to get stunned here, surely.
Yeah.
Oh, my days. Zera justifying his spot right now. But one mistake.
The scaling's quite high, so he's not going to be able to close it out. Oh! That was... He walked back and did forward hard punch.
I wouldn't have done that, honestly.
That was the... Against
Abigail.
Listen, there was a video earlier today of Angry Bird losing in 2 seconds against Abigail on Twitter, and yeah.
EX Demon Flip, Logan. Probably the option to select Throw Tech.
And again, that big jump hard kick counter hit though.
I was going to go into critical as well.
Yeah,
worth it every time. A nice little setup afterwards.
That's going to leave him with about 15% left, if that.
Chin.
Oh!
Opening here. Big damage coming. And the hard knockdown.
So what's the setup going to be? The flip.
Nice
the reversal. I like that choice. The overhead trades, and that is enough. We're all even, and we're going to the final round here. TKR. That Circus Abigail, as Problem X called it.
Wow.
Oh, he didn't get the launch off the second hit.
Loving the reactions, though, from Zera. Got to make those opportunities count, however. Backs away. A bit more tentative this round. Finally ready for that jump in. It's been a big problem for him. What? Just stuck it out and it connected.
Well, it's got the armor, so maybe he was looking for the hard punch there. I'm not sure. Came off for him, though.
Nice jumping, gets an opening. Bro. Look at this pressure here. TKR's got to be careful. Not much health left.
He's looking for the jump out of the corner, yeah!
Eddie.
He was waiting for that. I could see he was backing off, maintaining that space.
And the pressure. Oh, what a tech.
Brave tech! Oh, where's the activation of the first one?
Has to be reversal. I agree with that choice. Tries to beat that stand throw. Oh! Full charge!
That wasn't even...
Reset! Oh!
That wasn't even guard break, I swear.
One more, he'll do it. Oh, doesn't anti-air, gets a tap though.
Oh!
Days! Blows out the DP. He's in again. Jumps in.
Oh, anti-air, that's...
Oh!
And he pushed it out of the
Zera just couldn't cope with the pressure.
Zera was just too tense. He couldn't react. He wasn't taking a turn. He was caught in the headlights. That was a real case of stage fright there from Zera.
Literally stayed there. The DP getting punished just made him feel like he couldn't do anything.
Exactly. When you make the right decision and it doesn't work for you, it's so difficult to maintain your composure. And that's when that command grab was such a good choice there. He risked it all, really, with the command grab. We saw the command grabs not working for Infectious earlier on with his Abigail, but that time...
He just smelt the fear. He saw Zera wasn't going to press a button. I mean, teleport away, you've got options. Why would you stay there?
Especially when you get frame advantage and you block something that's negative, you know, teleport out there and play the zone in.
Look at that. Big damage as well. Pressure on plus, no V reversal option. The jump in, not anti-air.
He's -2 after that flip. He can teleport out and go back to zone there. But you're right, that was really a case of just losing your composure.
Man, that was crazy. What a way to open this up. That's 1-0 now to Team Envyus. I know what I thought of it, but I'd love to hear what Tom and the guys thought of that first game, guys.
Thank you very much, F-Word. Logan, yes, that really does open things up. That's what it means to Leo and the rest of it. I mean, look, even Jammers is getting in on things. But listen, gentlemen, you summed it up perfectly, Sengan, when you said he froze. Zera froze there in front of the Giant. But let's look forward to this second matchup, Mr. Crimson versus Shivryuken. This is a return of a regular season match where it came down to the finale and that clutch from Crimson there. How do you see this one going? Envy must have the edge now.
Yeah, in terms of momentum, definitely. However, these two went back and forth in the season, in the pre-playoffs, and I believe Shivryuken beat him 2-1. Like, Mr. Crimson destroyed him the first time, and then Shivryuken got the better of him. Maybe Mr. Crimson made a mistake in the character choice the last time they played, so maybe he'll adjust that in this one. It looks like Mr. Crimson is going to take Shiv this time. I would put it on him.
Problem X, Shiv using Laura. You expect the Dalsim to come out, his main character for Mr. Crimson?
Yeah, I expect Dalsim. I'm going to go with Shiv because it's the grand finals. You're either going to play insane and throw everything on the table, or you're just going to go home. So Shiv will put everything on the table, and I think he's going to win.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, Tyrant, I haven't got time for you, mate. Sorry, bro.
Oh, man.
No, I'll come to you next time. Honestly, I promise I will. Because I'm going to throw back to F-Word Logan. Take away, matchup 2.
Tyrant didn't even get the da-na-na-na-da-na that time. But it's all good. We are going into our second matchup. We've seen the predictions from Problem X.
It's going to be a long night for me, Logan. I think I've lost my voice a bit already.
Oh, that was super high.
How did TKR take that round?
That's the second match that he's effectively stolen tonight, but
he's just got away, hasn't he?
Play.
Something about it's like the most it's the most illegitimate approach to Abigail, but it's just so legit at the same time.
And that brings you back to the point that Problem made. You know, you either risk it all or you go home. So let's see whether Shivryuken can step in cold. He's not had a warm-up. He's not played. This is his first match of the evening. Mr. Crimson was looking really comfortable, though.
Yeah, I mean, to get drawn against Mr. Crimson.
Of course, Mr. Crimson has a Laura. He was the first Laura in Season 1, winning the very first competitive event on the Pro Tour for Street Fighter V way back in, I think it was March 2016. So he's going to know all about it, but it doesn't matter how much you know when she activates that V-trigger.
Oh, no cancel on the counter here. Moments like that.
Oh, blocks the overhead. He was ready.
Didn't have the EX. Oh, what?
Oh, crush counter.
What's combo?
Still alive. Oh, and gets caught with the slide, and in the end, didn't really put Mr. Crimson in any sort of real danger there.
Had openings. He had the counter hit, crouch medium, didn't cancel into the knockdown. Moments like that against a guy of Mr. Crimson's caliber come back to haunt you. You need to make them count. And now Mr. Crimson is putting on the pressure, smelling blood here.
I love Crimson's pressure. He's spacing on the drill. His use of the slides. So good.
Wow, look at that pressure off the fireball. Love that.
This is all Crimson. He's making Dulcet look like a rushdown character here.
Oh, loops in the corner here. Oh, so red. There's no escape. Text this time. All that damage done.
Oh, the teleport away. And he uses the critical part to close it out with a perfect. And ladies and gentlemen,
man,
this is looking very bad for Prophecy. And was that pick leaving Dark Moon Hado out? Is it going to really backfire on them?
I hate to keep going back to it. But I mean, it's so important at that point at 1-0 down. I know it's a race to 4. It seems like you still got time, but that was a very important game. The next player now has to play with his team 2 games down.
I mean, we're going to see pretty much all of the last round in these highlights because it was over so quickly.
So quick.
That teleport and the punish on the EX shoulder closes it out with the critical art as well.
It's not just the fact that he won, Logan. It's how comfortable and convincingly he won.
Exactly. That's a psychological hit, right?
They've got to turn this around now. They've got to just forget those first 2 games. Prophecy got to get this together and find a way to find themselves back in this set because 2 down now. Big matches coming up.
Well, that's what we thought. Let's see what Tom and the guys over the desk. Maybe Tyrant will get to have a say this time round.
Do you know what? Because you say that, Logan, I will. Tyrant, don't give me that. We've already seen that tonight. Listen, Tyrant, Akainu's got to step up. There's no other word for it.
He has to. It's now or never for these guys, you know. I mean, being 2-0 down in this kind of situation is just horrible.
What did you make of that perfect KO?
Perfect. That was a statement right there. Exclamation point from Crimson, man. Like, he just did his thing. Obviously, Laura is a character he knows very well. And, you know, he's been putting in the homework. He's ready to play. Like, he's just on fire.
Yeah, and let's discuss this. How did these characters match up? You seem to have your finger on the pulse of knowing what's going on.
I didn't know last time.
Yeah, I know, but I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. Problem X, what's going on here? Vega versus taking on Gao.
Well, Nassim said that he always beats Akainu, but I beg to differ. And I think that Akainu will win.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, Sengan, on this occasion, you don't get to chat.
That's fine.
That's fine.
That's fair.
But hey, we're just mixing up. I'll come to you next. First time. Okay, F word. Logan, matchup 3 of the final.
Well, this is arguably one of the most important games of the whole set. You saw how important that comeback was in the semi-finals, going 2-0 down. Envy managed to pull it off in the end, though. If they can go 3-0 up here with Nassim-Claw against Akainu, that's going to be insurmountable, surely.
I like the fact, though, that it's Akainu. I think if there's one guy who has that tournament experience, he has a Daigo headpiece on his mantelpiece at home. He's taken out Daigo in tournament. He can handle the pressure.
And of course, if he doesn't win it, it comes back down to Crimson and Shiv again, so there will be a lot of pressure here on Akainu to deal with the matter.
I did actually say before this matchup was drawn that I thought Akainu was going to lose this. I hope he doesn't. I do not want a quick grand final.
Absolutely not. We want this to go the distance. We want hype. They're playing the neutral, as to be expected. Nassim-Claw poking away. We've seen one Rago slide so far. That EX bar there, sitting, waiting to be used for that flying Barcelona attack.
Reversal's late there, gets a hit. Needed that. Finally some booms.
Yeah, it's so difficult to jump that light boom. It's so slow and takes up a lot of horizontal space. Nice air to air.
Oh, nice little string there. Got to be careful not to get opened up though. Neutral jump.
Oh, he just walks up. That was so clever.
Big trouble here.
Oh, now you see that looped pressure again there.
This is bad. This is really bad for Prophecy, Logan. Akainu now drops the first round.
Oh, big jump in.
One big jump to start the round.
This is looking very similar.
Love that. Get out of the corner. Oh my.
Oh, everything's working for Nassim-Claw. Apart from that.
Nice wake up jab there from Akainu. Gets himself out of trouble again. Needs some momentum now. EX bent. Goes in. Blocked again. Nassim not in.
On another command grab. Nassim-Claw is really taking advantage of the fact that he's got this lead.
Needed that. He needed that, Logan. Oh,
wake up. Oh, that was so smart.
One more hit will do it.
Oh! Lets it fly. And another no punish.
He was scared of the mirror.
Oh, 3 slides. Listen, what you just saw there.
Psychological war.
What you just saw there was a man playing for a team that was 2-0 up. His teammate just perfected his opponent. Nassim-Claw was doing absolutely anything he wanted. Walk up command grab, roll mix-ups, 3 slides in a row to close that round out. Let's take a look at that in a bit more detail because Nassim-Claw was doing anything he wanted. That walk up EX command grab after the neutral jump was so smart. And there you see that loop pressure. That's how he closed the first round out. That's important to remember.
Yeah, see that? He was scared of the V-trigger. Didn't come. So clever.
That was the 3rd slide in a row.
Wow. We were hoping not to have a blow-up. We were hoping for a close grand final, but unfortunately, Logan, it is Envyus 3, Prophecy 0 right now. Look at the crowd. Envyus are loving this.
It's 3-0 now to Envy. I don't see any way back here, possibly for Prophecy. Let's see what you guys think on the desk.
I mean, where do you start, gentlemen? There is an air in the arena. You can hear Leo. That's the only person you can hear right now because there is an element of, like, what has happened to this final? It's the whiff right at the end from Akainu. It just sums up everything. It's not a... How do you sum this up for them? It is a little bit of choking. It's a final. The pressure's on Prophecy. The main man who's come back into the side is Shiv. He's taken on Mr. Crimson now. It was a perfect in his last round.
It's a bit bleak.
Yeah, it's not. Give me something. There's got to be some.
They're not out of it by any.
There's still a mathematical.
They can still bring this back. However, it's looking like worst case scenario for them at the moment. So, Shiv needs to pull a rabbit out of that hat to take this.
Out of his backside, he needs a rabbit to come out.
Well, I wouldn't have said that. But
no, well, I have. I'll do it for you. The thing is, this is game 4. If they lose this, it's over. They've lost the final. And this is ironic, seeing as the fact they kind of pretty much destroyed Infused.
Yeah, and they haven't been here before, and we're just seeing Envyus as more hungry for it. They've been at the finals.
Is that what you put it down to, Tyrant?
They've been here before. I think overall their players are more experienced in this kind of situation, you know, not just in the Gfinity Elite Series, outside of it. These guys have been on the big stage numerous times around Europe, and I feel like it's just coming to a head here. We can all see these guys are just more comfortable.
Yeah. I mean, Shiv, what is he feeling right now, Problem X? You can see his face there. What is he thinking? This is it.
I hope the dice goes my way. That's what he must be thinking. That he needs to pull it out for his team.
Yeah.
And he's gonna. I think he's gonna win. I'm gonna stick with him.
Yeah.
He's gonna win.
Listen, you did stick with that. That was your prediction the last time. What can Shiv do, which he didn't do in that last matchup with Mr. Crimson? Obviously, win. Don't give me the obvious. Give me something.
Man was gonna say win.
Give me something because it wasn't happening. What was not clicking with his character Laura against Delsin?
I think he needs to create more openings. He needs to create more entry. He needs to wait, react to what's going on, try and stick out some heavy buttons of his own to crush counter those normals. Maybe use some.
How does he get in close to Dalsim? Dalsim kept him at a distance, then set up a fireball, bang.
Well, I mean, he did some illegitimate stuff. So he jumped in a couple of times in Crimson anti-air, did a fireball, which isn't legit.
And he just stood there.
And he just stood there and froze and took that. So he could have used opportunities to, you know, get his own offense going. So it doesn't seem like he's very adverse in that matchup.
Also, I feel like meter management is very important against Dalsim. You need that bar so you can use that meter to go through the limbs, get the knockdown. I feel like that's a big factor here. Let's see if he can do it, man.
Yeah, the last time they played, he has got form because he did get a win against Mr. Crimson. He must be sort of like registering that, like, how did I do it? How did I do it? How do I do it? Just going through the algorithm in his head.
He was cold. He came in cold. That was his warm-up game.
Yeah.
I think he'll play a lot better this time.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I like your confidence, Promise. Listen, Logan, F word. It's all. This could be the end of the final, or it could be the beginning of an incredible comeback.
He said he's got to play a lot better this time. I don't think he can play much worse, based on that last round of that match. It's fair, to be honest with you. But listen, it's an incredible uphill battle for these guys. Even if Shiv does win, we see another run back of Nassim and Akainu, and of course Nassim got away with murder. That match.
But I don't see him getting away with that stuff twice. I think if Shivryuken can get this and get the confidence back in his team, anything can happen. But we got to root for Shivryuken.
And all the while, whilst this is happening, Zera is there brewing about his performance against TKR.
That was a clean
win. He will
win.
get
Clean
the run
win.
back if it goes to a game 6 as well. So
imagine if they'd have won that first game, the mentality would have been different as well.
None of that matters if Shivryuken cannot beat Mr. Crimson here. Problem X believes in him.
I believe in him. Yeah, I do. You guys believe in Shivryuken? He's going to bring it back?
That was not a very loud response.
I guess nobody
And
believes
there's a
in
lot of people in the crowd, so...
Come on, guys. No, we don't want a quick final. Come on, Prophecy.
Mr. Crimson.
No love for Prophecy in the crowd.
Shivryuken again. Dalsim against Laura. Shiv really needs to make some big changes. What does he need to change?
He just needs to disrupt this comfort zone that Mr. Crimson's in. He really needs to make him uncomfortable somehow.
The second round of that first match, Mr. Crimson looked like Dalsim was a rushdown specialist. Here we go. He's gone back to that.
Trying to trade with the sweeps.
Gone back to that zoning style.
There's that jump light kick, which is difficult. He's still just...
Good tech. Nice. That light kick definitely is a good answer.
Okay, moment.
Oh, no.
Hey, he's gonna get started. That's Dalsim. He's a double-edged sword. He can dive this quickly. Spend the EX to kill. No.
Oh, the palm grab.
Okay.
Listen, I really like his use of the standing light kick. It stops Mr. Crimson being able to just loop that pressure with no response. There we go.
That's why he sticks out.
You're right.
This meaty, though. Can't be dropping situations like that. Doesn't get a combo, though. Lifeline, and Crimson's cornered himself. Shiv make this count.
Oh, and again, he's looking for that crush counter, and it's working.
And he gets his meaty right this time. Activation.
Oh, that was a brave jab. I see him jab after activations a lot. That time he does have the EX bar to get the combo.
Oh, good block.
Front.
Good jump in.
Jumping.
Oh, ready for that. He was absolutely ready. Knew he was going to try something like that. Throw. Crimson to get his team to match point. Great tech.
It's going to be very difficult for Shiv to bring this back without V-trigger.
Goes whiffs there,
Can't afford a trade either at this range.
Shiv's just waiting. Got a lovely poke space in there from Mr. Crimson. There's the hit. Match point. Actually, tournament point. Series point.
Season point right
Envyus.
now for Envyus. Mr. Crimson, is he going to close it out? They're star signing.
Oh, pressing buttons after that.
Couldn't get the job done last year. You can't say more than 4-0.
Yeah, he stopped spamming the buttons now. Doesn't want to get caught by that sweep. No jumping fuses, Mr. Crimson, the meaty.
That was the meatiest slide.
Oh, nice. Light kick there. For a well tech. Critical arts there as well. Got to be careful.
Crimson's doing so well at changing the pace and the momentum. He's going in, then he's backing off.
Shiv being too patient here. He's got to make something happen, but he's scared to jump. The critical art's going to do too much damage.
He's really smartly put Shiv off using that sweep as well with a couple of whiff punishes.
And just not spamming the buttons as regularly.
Just waiting and getting his free damage in.
Mr. Crit, oh, he really needs to get...
Oh, he wanted to activate.
Oh, he's going to get critical arted.
That's going to do it.
Oh, no. It misses. Lifeline. Cross up behind.
Oh, what a block. This is it.
No reversal.
It's all here.
Nice, the reversal spends it.
Shiv's still got a lot of that feet.
Oh, not quite. There's an opening. Shiv needs this. Oh, brave tech. One more tap will win it. Hard knockdown.
One more guess.
Had the counter hit.
Again, he has it
never got going. Team Envyus.
Leo is here. Barrel rolling off the stage.
They've rectified the result from last season. The whole of Team Envyus are storming the stage. They are the Gfinity Elite Series Season 2 champions. Congratulations. 4-0, Logan. Did you see that coming?
No. No. Prophecy won their semi-final 4-0, and they went on to lose the grand final 4-0. What a turnaround, what heartbreak for those guys at Prophecy, but what a great performance from them to make it to the grand finals. As Envyus were last year underdogs, we didn't expect them to be here. Prophecy was certainly not a name at the start of the season you would expect to see in the grand finals. Unfortunately, they didn't make a good account for themselves. And I'm sure Dark Moon Hado will be out there really disappointed that he wasn't able to contribute here in the grand finals. But it is all about Team Envy.
Absolutely.
What a unit.
France have arrived in the form of Team Envyus, securing themselves that place. They finished top of the table, and they then went on to win in convincing fashion in the grand finals. Well done to them. What a result.
Mr. Crimson with the 2 wins. Nassim-Claw, TKR, 4 wins in a row. Let's take a quick look as they celebrate. Much deserved.
I mean, how many counter hits did, I hate to bring it up, but how many counter hits did Shivryuken drop?
We've seen a lot of drops today.
I mean, the counter hit would have stunned. It was the game.
There he managed to get the conversion, and you see exactly what happened.
That's how quickly Dalsim dies. You see it. Just like that. This was a solid round here from Mr. Crimson. I thought Shivryuken was too patient the following round, but this opening here.
Yeah.
Got the counter hit. Stun was right at the tip.
He wasn't able to react to that counter hit in time. He went for the crashing medium punch.
And Mr. Crimson had just committed to the jump back light punch no matter what. And there it is. Victory for Team Envyus.
And you can see how much it means to them. That's a real band of brothers, a real team unit there. Those players, of course, have been representing the whole season together. They've given us some of the greatest moments. There he is. Look, Leia almost caused himself serious injury. Almost broke my ankles as well.
Wow.
They've given us some of the most memorable moments this season. And
lost.
I mean, great team to take the time.
I think they thoroughly deserve it as well, Logan. We can't argue with that, right? Thoroughly deserved.
They've definitely, I mean, they certainly haven't underperformed in any way.
No.
It's been great play the whole season. Mr. Crimson, what a great addition to those guys. Nassim-Claw, definitely the MVP season-wide, but Mr. Crimson tonight really did it. And TKR getting the job done.
I'll tell you what, right? You said it. Don't fix it if it ain't broken, and it just proved to be right. One team changed the team, struggled to get out of second gear. Yep. The other team stayed the same, stayed warm, like Problem X pointed out, and they managed to come away with the victory. I mean, great decision from Team Envyus.
What an incredible final there. A huge victory for Envy. Let's see what the guys on the analysis desk had to make of that.
But before we do that, Logan, can I just confirm your ankles are okay?
I'm fine. I will not be pressing charges or making any claims against Gfinity. I'm fine.
Okay, Gfinity I'm glad about, but Leo is, you know, he could obviously claim a little bit of the winnings. Listen, let's look at this, gentlemen. What an incredible final. And let's talk about Prophecy first. The runners-up of the competition. They deserved to be in the final. They made it here. Didn't go to plan, though, did it?
No, I feel you could really see in the play that it was just crumbled under the amount of pressure that is up there when you're in grand finals and it's all for the first place.
Yeah.
You could just see in their play they were like tentative.
It just looked like he was forgetting things. Like when Dalsim did the anti-air into the light fire, he would just sit there. Like we said earlier, he would just freeze.
I don't even think it was just Shiv though.
No,
they all played like that. They all played Frozen.
I would say, yeah, Shiv played a lot better in the second game just now. He was throwing out the heavy buttons, getting a few crush counters and getting his mix-ups going. I think it was over when Akainu didn't punish the slide from Nassim, because Akainu was the guy that they looked to at that moment, bring us back from this deficit, and you don't punish a minus whatever that is move. And yeah, I think that's when it went down.
Yeah, crushing at the moment. I know that they probably don't want to have a chat with us at the moment. They're trying to get over what's just happened. We can break it down, though. The tactics going into that, I don't want to say that's the only reason why they lost, but Dark Moon Hado not being there in the final, it has to be mentioned, it has to be said. Tactical error there.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, definitely think that.
And I think out of all, I think I'm surprised that Akainu didn't show form, but I think out of all of them, Dark Moon Hado has proven that under pressure he can perform really well. So maybe a bit of that is what was needed for the final stage.
I understand why they picked Shiv, because of the Laura element. I think it's just he didn't play earlier. He just came straight into the grand finals. I think that was the problem. I don't think there was anything wrong with playing him. It's just that.
Is that like a lesson that we could, any Street Fighter competitor or player out there just knows, don't go in cold. You have to warm up, you have to get ready for it. If it's a first to one round, you need to be ready to go. You need to be on fire a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. And Mr. Crimson, he was having the time of his life. He's, you know, he did excellent in the tournament yesterday. He's was in grand finals, doing well for his team in Gfinity throughout the whole series. He's going to have a field day with someone who's coming in cold.
Okay, well listen, gentlemen, they were the runners-up, but let's just remind ourselves of that winning moment for Team Envy. Let them celebrate first. Let them celebrate first. Ladies and gentlemen, get your phones ready. It is that moment. Season 2, the Elite Series Street Fighter champions are Envy! Congratulations, congratulations, gentlemen. How does it feel to be? You've done it. Last season it didn't happen. This season it's happened.
It is amazing. We are very happy for this. And vive la France and vive la team Envyus.
Well said. Mr. Crimson, last season didn't manage to do it. One signing, you, and they've done it now.
Yeah, I'm really happy of that. That was our objective. So we done, and we focus on the next season and the next season to do better and better. We can do better. We can do a lot of better things.
That is typical Envy. Not thinking about the win right now, thinking about next season. Nassim-Claw, you've got the support of everyone around you tonight. It must be a beautiful feeling. This is going to last for a while.
It's a great feeling ever. For a man, it's a great feeling ever. I'm so glad to win. And we told you from the start, we're going to win. No time to lose this time.
Okay.
And for the next season,
okay,
be the same thing.
Okay, well listen, I'm going to give you that. Hold that. One of you has to hold it because we're going to have a quick break right now. When we come back, we'll get all the analysis from their incredible win. Maybe the team players of the season. So much is on the way. Have a quick break, get a drink, come back, and we'll see you in a second. It is the Gfinity Elite Series Season 2. We had to have a final. The two best teams met, and we were expecting an epic match. What we didn't expect was it to be so one-sided. Envy dominating from start to finish and getting a 4-0 whitewash. Tell you what, they are definitely and did perform like real, true champions. And joining me down here with Problem X and Sagan and Tyrant, it's the one and only Monsieur Crimson, new to the team in Season 2. Injured as well, just to remind everybody, injured on that hand. You absolute fool for how you did it. But anyway, the point is, you are now an Elite Series champion. Talk us how you're feeling right now.
That's absolutely awesome for me because a lot of things. You know, I didn't qualify myself for the Capcom Cup, for example. That was a hard thing for me. But win this one today is also really important for me, my new sponsor, my future, everything. So that will be really good for me to go up and continue to practice and to believe in me.
Yeah, a new start from Monsieur Crimson, like going onwards and upwards. What has been noticeable throughout the season is how much of a team Envy is. That's really the champions. That's why you've performed so well, isn't it? The support.
Yeah. The support is awesome. We have a gaming house in London to practice. I can go to WSO. I can practice with the UK community, but also with the French community, and get better and better. So thank you, everybody, every player. That's also for your win.
Beautifully and well put there. Listen, let's break it down. The final. You had 2 matches. You took on Shivryuken twice. Let's talk about the first one. I believe there was a perfect KO in there. Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, so like I said at our first meet, the Dalsim-Laura matchup is pretty good for Dalsim in neutral. The neutral game is okay, but like you see, when she got the V-trigger, she started to be really dangerous. So I have to kill her. Now I have to kill her the most quickly as possible. So throw again. He got the super, but I tried to throw again, and this time, okay, he got the tech. A lot of luck here, so I can take the stun, then flame, super.
Yeah. Was it something he wasn't doing, or something you were doing to be better, one step ahead of him?
I think after the tech, when he goes for the EX elbow, he wants to get a knockdown, but I teleport myself behind to escape that. So a good move, and the stun is good. Is here, so. Good.
It really did shift the match at that point. Envy had all the momentum, and Mr. Crimson defeating the guy who's just come into that Team Prophecy. Maybe there was an element in the other players, like Akainu and Zera's head, like, oh, maybe we should have got Dark Moon, Hado. Like, anything could be happening for their confidence.
Possibly. I think that it was more important, as Problem X was saying, was the third match when it was Akainu versus Nassim-Claw. I think that was the match that in Prophecy's eyes were like, okay, we're down 0-2, but Akainu's going to get the win here, and then we'll be 2-1, and the momentum will build from there, and then the set will really grow into its own. I think when Nassim managed to take out Akainu, there was a big shock, and it finally dawned on Prophecy that, uh-oh, we've made a mistake here.
At that point in the game, it was 3-0. All the weight was back on Shivryuken's shoulders. We said at Promex he has to come out, and he's capable of beating Mr. Crimson. We know that from the regular season. But when it came down to it, the final, you know, it was too strong.
Yeah, I mean, the final, Mr. Crimson's been in much bigger tournaments, been in the finals consistently, or top 8s, and he's used to that kind of pressure. Shiv having to come and win, have to win. You can't afford to lose at this point. You've come in cold, you haven't played for the whole day, and Mr. Crimson also plays Laura. The odds are just really against you.
And then when we look at that second matchup that Mr. Crimson had, he just needed to see it out, didn't he?
Absolutely, yeah, and he did that exactly. Like you say, he smelled blood at the end there, and he just went for it. He just took every opportunity he had and maximised it, and that's what it takes to be a great player.
Were you a little bit nervous going into that second matchup against Shivryuken? If he got that back in, that might have given them momentum to come back and win it 4-3.
Yeah, I am every time nervous in big match, but I try to understand if I can get all those nervous things to help me in my game. That's important, and I'm not perfect, so I'm continuing to practice on that. Street Fighter is not the only thing you have to practice to be good at Street Fighter. You have to practice on your mental and a lot of things.
Yeah, staying focused. And also on the Salt Bay celebration, you can see in the background. And there's you winning, Mr. Crimson, at the end. I want to talk about this because we discussed whether TKR should come out and maybe Leo come into the team or maybe Comps. What was your thinking behind that?
We all play Nassim, TKR and me in the same town. So we doing every time the team tournament, 3 of us, and we doing pretty well every time. So Layo say to us, I'm not confident. Honestly, against the guy, this will be hard. Against Kami, we thought they're gonna send Dark Munado. It will be hard, so we say to ourselves, let's go with TK, Nassim and me to do that.
Well, he didn't look very confident when he jumped from the audience. He almost hit his head on the steps. He almost broke Logan's feet. It was dangerous, but congratulations. Listen, we haven't heard any feedback from Prophecy. Ariel, what are Prophecy saying right now?
Well, I'm here with Prophecy's manager. It's safe to say the players are obviously feeling a little bit down after that result, especially with the result in the semi-finals. So let's break it down. What happened? Was it a case of them not winning that first game, that it goes down from there, or did they just crack under the pressure?
I think it comes down to a lot of things. I mean, it's really hard to know. A lot of the commentary is like, why did we make the choices we made for the player picks that last set? You know, how did it go from a 4-0 to such a close series in each game, just losing that last second? But why
did you make those changes? Because like Shiv said earlier, it was because of the character Laura. Shiv's obviously a great player, but there are lots of people saying maybe you should have taken out Zera and had Dartman Hado. Like, where did those decisions get made, and how close to the final did they get made?
So, I mean, during the semi-finals match with Envy and XL, a lot of time was taken sort of to discuss, all right, here's what we can do in the next series, depending on who gets chosen. I think, well, we went with the lineup we went with because those are the players that were feeling confident.
Yeah.
I mean, Jack Darkman Hado was obviously coming off of a really great set as well, and feeling confident. But with the character matchups that we felt were possible, and with how the players were feeling, that's what we ended up going with. And
well, Problem X said that it all came down to who chokes under pressure, and they actually said that Dartman Hado was really easy breezy in the semi-final, so maybe he should have stayed in the final. But actually, on paper, he's the one who's had the least LAN experience, so that decision must have come from that, surely, because you would have thought maybe the final might have got to him pressure-wise.
Yeah, it's been a worry for me with him coming into the Elite Series as well. Like, he doesn't have as much experience as some of the other players, and he's been performing amazingly considering that. But it is very much a case of, you know, every time he gets that win, the expectation on him rises. And when we hit the semi-finals, it kind of dawned on me that everyone was expecting to win so much at that point. And I honestly was a bit worried.
As you would be. But let's look at the positives. You've made it to the final. Prophecy have been so consistent this week, this series, entirely. We were talking about it. You've actually been one of the most, because you made it look easy getting to the final.
It looked a lot easier than it probably was. I mean, Infused are a really strong opponent. We were looking at that series as being the major sort of stepping stone for us to get to this final. And they really put up a lot more of a fight than it looked to be a 4-0. But I think we've performed amazingly this season. And, you know, those last 4 games came so close, so down to the wire, that it's a bit of a shame that it ended there for us.
Well, you still made it to the final. Congratulations to Team Prophecy and to all the players. We do send them our love. And we'll see you in Series 3, yes? Back to you, Tom.
Thank you very much. I tell you what, the sort of backdrop of the snow falling was just making me more sad and sad, of like a sad Christmas. But I tell you what, a man who's going to have a very, very happy and exciting Noel is this man here, Nassim-Claw. How do you feel? Champion of Season 2.
I'm feeling so good. So good. I don't know what I have to say, but yeah. It was,
yeah,
I can say it was a closest match, because it wasn't, but... Sorry?
Unbelievable. Cold, but that's what you expect.
It's a fact, sorry?
Hey, I like you when you bring up facts. Let's talk about matchup 3. You had to win that. It was an important game. Yep. If Akainu got over you, there was a whiff right at the end. He had you for a second. Did he?
Yeah.
But he didn't get you. Talk us through what happened in this matchup 3.
Match 3, what's happened? Ah, yeah, the final slide. That's it. Look at, come on, grab, up, forward dash, flash kick. Okay, no worries. Okay, let's try again. Let's go.
Were you not panicking? Continue. Just a little bit?
Yeah, rolling. And, yeah, I'm so smart. Am I a genius? Look at this. Slide, slide. Yeah. Again. Yeah. No. Another one. Yeah. Perfect. I was lucky on the last hit.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So that's a bit more modest from you, but I like that. You're full of confidence. You've been one of the stars of Envy, if I can say so, in my opinion. The swagger that you've had, you've grown in confidence. When maybe at the start people were like, Nassim-Claw, who is this guy? And now everyone knows who Nassim-Claw is.
Yeah, yes. Everyone know. I know too.
Where do you go from here, Nassim-Claw? You personally?
How I am?
Yeah, where do you go? You've just become the Elite Series Season 2 champion. Where do you go in your Street Fighter? Where do you go? Is this going to give you the lift and the confidence to win other tournaments?
I have the confidence to win every time. I don't know what I have to say. Yes, we are the champion. It's good like this, and we're going to be champion again in Season 3.
Okay, perfect. Listen, you are a fantastic team. Let's hear from a couple more of the team members with Ariel right now.
No, if I can get those 3 players up on the stage there, but I think it's safe to say there was 2 very important players in the audience tonight, and they were not just cheering and shouting and like crying. They were the Team Envy cheerleaders, Zera, Comps, and Leo. Guys, you must be so proud of your team.
100%. They did way better than we could have imagined. Like they brought it home for us. So yeah.
Were there any moments where you thought it was going to change around? I mean, I know it's 4-0, but there was some real tense moments there, wasn't there?
No, I had like complete confidence in what they were doing in the final. I think the semi-final was a bit where my heart was out of my chest. Like I could not actually breathe for some of it. But in the final, they kept it very consistent. Yeah.
And we were talking about how obviously you could change the lineup in the final, but you were quite happy with them keeping it those 3.
Yeah, they literally just won and beat well, let's say Excel is the team on everybody's lips, so they just come out of a win. Just if it's not broken, don't fix it.
One question, Leo. Where was the backflip?
You missed it.
I missed it? Did anyone else see it? No, didn't. Well, congratulations, Leo. You're very much part of this team. We're going to go back to Tom now.
Thank you very much, Ariel, to Leo, to Logan, to F-Word, to Comps over there. What a final we've been treated to. Tyrant, pleasure to have you back. I'm looking forward to Season 3. It's just around the corner in 2018. Sengan! I know man's not hot. Listen, my main man, Problem X, it would be lovely to have you back in some sort of form next season. You looking forward to that?
Yeah, no, it's going to be great.
Okay, perfect. Beautiful. And listen, congratulations to you, the confident man, Mr. Nassim-Claw. Well, there you have it. We've learned an important lesson tonight. If you come to the Elite Series with the best pop-offs, the most hype and the biggest emotions, eventually the Street Fighter gods will reward you with the championship trophy. Team Envy have entertained since day 1 and are fitting champions for a fantastic Street Fighter season. We have a Rocket League and Counter-Strike semi-finals coming your way tomorrow, but tonight it is Vive la France, Team Envy, Street Fighter champions. I said it just a moment ago, we look forward to having you back in Season 3 next year. Watch this space. Have a great night.
Well, all season long, Dave, the battle is set. Here we go. Oh, yeah! It's gonna be it! Envyus versus XL. No! There it is!